So I don't do these streams that often anymore. I got in another bad car accident the other day. I wasn't at fault. Just one of those things. So I'm kind of laying up today. So I figured I'd do this. We're talking about a teacher who did a bad thing. First things first, thesoftspokenshaman@gmail.com is the place to hit me up if you so choose. You want to read my books or whatnot. All that good stuff. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification button. I will be doing this more in the future. It's just right now I don't have the time or the desire, really. Anyways, so 35-year-old Michelle Mercoliano, 35-year-old special ed teacher in Pennsylvania, was just charged, and I believe she was taken into custody today for messing with a 16-year-old student. It's like a broken record, I understand, but every single time I hear one of these stories, I want to talk about it because it's so disgusting. And it's at the point where so many female teachers are doing this now that it just needs to be addressed and talked about whenever it does happen, to finally bust through the wrong assumptions people have that it's just men who are PDF files, which is ridiculous. We can now see through a lot of these bad actors who are female teachers that a lot of them are PDF files, and a lot of them think that the laws and the rules don't apply to them. And they think that they can just do whatever they want and that they can plead it down later or they'll get a slap on the wrist. This woman, they charged her with 63 felonious counts yesterday, but they didn't take her into custody because she said she had an emergency medical issue. Ma'am, if a man were accused of this, they wouldn't care if you had appendicitis. If you were in surgery, they'd be there. They'd handcuff you to the operating table. Believe me, they would. So I guess she's supposed to, facilitate with her attorney being, booked today or something like that. But man, what makes this one especially heinous is she's a special ed teacher. Typically that's the type of teacher that elicits the highest amount of trust. I don't know if you remember, but when I was in school, I didn't have any contact with any of the special ed teachers, of course, but you just kind of, know them because you see them around. And they're typically nice people. They're typically very empathetic people because they have to be because of what they do, especially if they're good at what they do. But I can't think of any situation in the school that is that much of a travesty of breaking trust. It would be kind of the same if, like, the principal you found out or the dean was a predator. It'd be kind of a similar vibe. I don't know. Her name's Michelle Mercoliano. You can look her up online. She's a 35-year-old special ed teacher, in Pennsylvania. Of course, what we all do is when these women are accused of these crimes, we look at their picture and see, well, hey, are they hot at least? This one, she had some weird pictures. She had some pictures that make her look very unflattering, and then she's got, the filters and the makeup and all that. So it's really hard to know. But, to abuse the trust in that sense, it's not just that you're an adult abusing a child. That's horrible as it is. But it's you're an adult in a position of power and authority over a child. And to me, that's an exacerbating condition. That's an enhancement in terms of the criminal justice system, And we all know in this country, it's no secret. Everybody knows what happens to people who prey on children. It's not good. So to know what happens and to do it anyways really means that you've got really horrible impulse control, or you're just an amoral, evil person. And the word evil gets thrown around like it's nothing nowadays. And it really shouldn't, because it's a serious word. But I really think you could use the word evil, apply it to this person, and not feel bad about it. It's evil, And not only was she having intercourse with this 16-year-old boy, I believe in the documents they said it happened about 12 or 13 times. They also said that she was going and getting medicinal herb from the dispensary and smoking with him. Not only are you're doing so many things wrong here. You're abusing the trust. You're sexually abusing this individual, this minor, but you're also giving him drugs. Now, yes, it's marijuana, you know? I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's been decriminalized in so many ways, so many states, but it's not decriminalized when it comes to a minor. Minors, it is illegal for a minor to be smoking marijuana. It's illegal, of course, to facilitate that minor to even have that in their possession. So this person is just a piece of crap. Now, as always, the interesting thing will be seeing as she goes through the process if, what happens. What happens if she pleads to a lower charge, if they allow that, or, if she goes through the system and if she gets convicted and what her sentencing will be. Will she do jail time or prison time? I mean, I think for something of this magnitude, she really should. Now, of course, everybody knows what they do in the beginning is the prosecutor stacks all the charges. They throw everything at you. And then later on, as things proceed, they lessen things. They consolidate the charges, So, of course, she's not going to be convicted of 63 counts of felonies. It'll be less, but it's still going to be bad.